Your Royal Highness, Prince Teso Sisawat, also the Secretary of State of Cambodia, we are very honored to have your royal presence with us. This is not the first time Your Royal Highness are with us for an occasion that is very significant for Lotus and Water. And every single time when Your Royal Highness are with us, we are greatly encouraged and exalted by the grace of your royal blessing. Mr. Marcel Piatu, the Lohong Pere Director of the Whole Asia, Mr. Marcel Piatu speaks very fluent Japanese. His love, understanding, and conviction of the Asian culture would put many of us Asians to shame. Marcel and I know each other for more than a decade. You are a very dear friend of mine. It is an honor and also an emblem of our friendship to receive you as a representative of Lohong Pere, our sponsor of the event this evening. We are also very honored to have among ourselves the most respected academicians. They are the most authoritative and influential figures in the areas of arts, languages, and cultures from the best universities of the world. We have among ourselves Professor Alan Chan. Thank you. Professor Alan Chan Kom Leong, Dean of College of Humanities, Arts and Social Sciences at the Nanyang Technological University. He is the most magical cheerleader I have ever seen. It is a joy. We are very honored to have you here, Professor Chan. Professor Yao Jin Hao. Thank you. Director of the Center for Chinese Language and Culture and the Chinese Heritage Center, Head of Division of Chinese School of Humanities and Social Sciences at the Nanyang Technological University. We are very honored to have you here, Professor Yao. Professor Luo Futeng, Head of Chinese Studies, Singapore University of Social Sciences. Thank you for penning your review of my art. We are very honored to have you here, Professor Luo. Professor Lee Chok Yin, Professor Lee Chok Yin. Yes, thank you. Director of Wan Bu So Research Center for Chinese Culture at the National University of Singapore. We are very honored to have you here, Professor Lee. Mr. Ma Xingle, Mr. Ma Xingle, yeah, it's a very special guest. Vice President of China Academy of Paintings. He's not only an academician, but also an artist. His artworks are highly auctioned at Christie Auction House, and among his many famous collectors are Queen Elizabeth II, Bill Clinton, and David Rockefeller, just to name a few. He especially adjusted his time on founding an art foundation in Beijing and his lectures at Princeton University to join us this evening. I can only use the word 受宠若惊, overwhelming surprises for the friendship and support he has shown me. Welcome to Singapore. We are very honored to have you, Mr. Ma. Professor Yi Ruofen. Hello. Nanyang Technological University. Can a lady be so intellectual and at the same time so beautiful? Look at her. We are very honored to have you, Professor Yi. Thank you. Dr. Tan Li Xiang, Dr. Tan Li Xiang of Singapore University of Social Sciences, a very old friend of mine. If you don't understand the meaning of persistence, get to know her. We are very honored to have you, Dr. Tan. Professor Goh Hock Hwan of Hong Kong University, yeah, a very old friend of mine. Thank you. For penning your review of my art. We are very honored to have you here, Professor Go. Yes, Mr. Jimmy Ye. Mr. Jimmy Ye, yes. Head of Creative Experience, Singapore Management University, a very dear and kind friend, a very helpful friend with a golden heart. We are very honored to have you here, Mr. Jimmy Ye. Some of them has been my friends for years, but most of them have been my friends for decades. Without their affirmation, we are not half this proud. Without their dedication in their fields of studies, we are not half this profound. We also have a few school principals, most of them personal friends of mine. Mr. Lau Chun Ming. Mr. Lau Chun Ming. Oh, okay, yes. Principal of Nanyang Junior College, Mr. Lawrence Chong. Principal of Woodland Garden School, Mr. Joel Tan Kien An. Yes. A retired principal and a ceramic artist. Thank you for penning your review on my art. And Mrs. Tan Wee Ping. Oh. Thank you. I didn't get to shake her hand just now. Principal Anderson Primary School. She's here this evening with the whole platoon of parents who are very committed to education and community services as SAC members. Our present world is much brighter because you have dedicated your lives to engineering the lives of children yesterday. We are honored to have you, the educationists, here. I also want to welcome my own art teacher, Mrs. Valerie Tan. Can't see her. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, Mrs. Valerie Tan has been my art teacher since I was 13 years old. She's always been inspiring, always introducing me, even to the point of pestering me into different art forms and media, and she never stops doing that until today. Once a teacher, always a teacher. I am grateful you were there for me when I was 13, hand-holding me into the gate of the wonderful world of art, and you're still here when I'm 45 for my first solo art exhibition. In the ancient Florence of Italy, we had the Medici family. In modern Singapore, we have the UOB, the United Overseas Bank. Because they are the patron of art in this country, we are honored to have the UOB Privileged Reserve Banking team of representatives led by Mr. Nigel Chua, Ms. Geraldine Yeo, and Mr. Daniel Lau. And we thank them for inviting us to hold a private art exhibition to their most privileged clients on the 25th of May this year at Marina Bay Financial Tower. Speaking about Italy, we have my favorite Italian luxurious brand. We welcome Mr. Ken Kress, Mr. Furuzawa, Mr. Peter Thulis, and Mr. Mario Falisari, and the team of representatives from Ermenegildo Zegna. Thank you. Thank you. I have been chanting the brand for many days. Thank you. I appreciate you for your warm support, and thank you for helping me to receive His Royal Highness Prince Tasso with your Italiano hospitality when His Royal Highness arrived. And thank you for your collaboration in my upcoming UOB art exhibition next month. And once again, thank you, Lohong Perry, for sponsoring us for the exhibition as well. The Minister of Cambodia have also sent in their ladies to grace our opening this evening. We have Lady Sokchanda Sophia. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Minister attached to Prime Minister, Secretary General of the Council for the Development of Cambodia, and Lady Miss Kwana, Lady Min Kwana. Thank you for your beautiful and elegant support. Thank you. In Singapore, we have our most prestigious heritage hotels in Raffles Hotel and Fullerton Hotel. In China, we have the equivalent in White Swan Hotel. Based in the charming city of Guangzhou, we have the team of representatives led by Mr. Deng Wenyue and 3 beautiful roses of Canton. Yes. White Swan Hotel is the only place outside of Singapore that is impossible for me to get homesick. They have intended to hold my next art exhibition overseas there in November this year. So book your plane tickets early and your rooms early. Once again, thank you, Prince Tesso, for agreeing to be my guest of honor there. And thank you, Le Hong Paris, to be my sponsor there. We also had the representatives from 2 celebrity chef restaurants. From Waukegan, we have Mr. Eric Lee, the sommelier. Look at his beautiful body. You feel you are safe to eat and drink. From Bread Street Kitchen or Chef Gordon Ramsay, we have Chef Sabrina Steelheart. It is, yes. It is devastating. She makes us realize that the best lady chef in the world is not my grandmother. And Mr. Britton. Mr. Britton, the sommelier, is not just a champion sommelier of the whole Asia last year, but also the champion sommelier in my heart since 7 years ago. The Cantonese have a saying, 千金難買心頭好. The fondness of the heart is worth more than 1,000 pieces of gold. I go to their restaurants not just for the nourishment of the body, but also for the nourishment of the soul. Also, we have the representative of Urban Hair, my weekly hairstylist, led by the founder, Mr. Eugene Ong. Going to Urban Hair doesn't give me more hair, obviously, but it definitely gives me more style. All right, we have the heads and founders of several societies here, Miss Pandora Ip and Mr. Bernard Tay, the president and the vice president from Singapore Sogetsu Society. Mrs. Tan Tak Sing, the founder, and Mr. Chai Furong, the president from Singapore Teachers Art Society. Yes. And Dr. Tan Li Xiang from the Chinese Teachers Literary Recital Society. Thank you. We also welcome the team of representatives from Bullion Stars led by the COO, Mr. Luke Chua. Bullion Star is the best place to deal with gold and silver in Singapore. Raise your hand higher. You're not holding that piece of gold, right? We also acknowledge the media friends here who has flown over to Singapore from different countries in Asia. We welcome Mr. Brian Yim from Millionaire Asia, Ms. Arusu Pisutipan from Bangkok Post, Ms. Sun Muning from China Radio International, Mr. Henry Yeo from Borneo Bulletin, yeah. Ms. Xiao Pei Siuk from the United Daily News, and Ms. Susanna Chiu from the Attitude. Oh, thank you. And there are And of course, you have you among us, the very, very loyal and very, very precious clients, members and people of Lotus on Water. You are the very reason why Lotus on Water exists. Your good fortune and your joy are our pride. There are many, many more of you in the list I cannot mention here. If not, we won't get to go home tonight. My friends, my pals, my neighbors. Oh dear, what have I done to deserve the acquaintances and friendships from all of you? I cannot thank you enough of your support.